national teamer and a longtime acolyte of Bruce Arenas. Dominic Baggi in the center circle to kick us off. You see the temperature. It was about 80 degrees this morning, and then a big storm blew through. Huge winds knocked the temperature down to 55. That's where we're at as we kick off. Orlando City and FC Cincinnati getting going. Very attractive kit matchup tonight. The purple against the new orange of FC Cincinnati this year. And Orlando win an early throw off of Albus Powell. Nicky, when you look at this game, we talked a lot during the pregame about how you expect Orlando to dominate the ball. How do they keep their cool in the early passages here?
Yeah, you got to be patient, and within that patience, you have to have a lot of intensity and a lot of energy. You want to make sure that you hit them early because this is a team that's hurt, and if you hit them early, you get a goal early. You get the sense that they mentally are very affected because of the way that things have gone for them. For a lot of these players, they've lost 14 games in a row. So to concede a goal like they did in Austin, their heads go down, and then it becomes a very, very difficult battle. For Orlando City, just play your game, stay patient, stay concentrated, make sure that you avoid transitional moments like you're seeing right now, and I think you'll be in a good shape.
Yeah, early set play for FC Cincinnati here. Antonio Carlos with a foul. Chris Penso, the veteran referee, in his 192nd game in charge in the MLS regular season. Orlando scored in 31 seconds last year at home against Cincinnati. It was Tesho Akindele who put that one in. Fastest goal in Orlando City history. They are not going to score that fast tonight. And in fact, it is FC Cincinnati who will get the game's first set play.
And this is a good opportunity if you're FC Cincinnati because the amount of really tall and physical players that they have is impressive. And Orlando City is going to have to be very, very tight here. And in the early moments of the game, there's still a little bit of nerves, a little bit of an anxiety. So Orlando City is going to have to make sure that they deal with this situation and start to get control of the game, start to keep the possession of the ball, and then build from there.
Lucho Acosta, one of the most creative playmakers in the league, along with Yuya Kubo standing over this free kick. Spenso aligns the chess pieces. Here they get Cameron in there, Tyler Blackett. Murphy's a big guy at 6'2", the rookie. Haglund as well. Curled in by Acosta, popped straight up by Antonio Carlos. Galese comes down with it in the traffic. Galese looking to get Orlando out, looking for Facundo Torres down the field. And it's a towering header from Albus Powell that prevents Orlando from getting out on the break. Junior Urso unable to quite control that one. At Orlando Health Jewett Orthopedic Institute, we want to encourage you to continue getting the care you need to make major moves. Our team provides next-generation sports medicine so you can keep moving. Visit orlandohealth.com/sportsmedicine to learn more. Cincinnati, first spell of possession tonight. They did win the expected goals battle against DC United. They had the better of the chances for most of the game. And were heartbroken by a very late penalty at the end of second half stoppage time. A 98th minute winner for Ola Kamara to hand Cincinnati their 14th consecutive loss. That is an MLS record. Tidy there from Araujo to keep it in possession for Orlando. Mauricio Pereira. Torres. Moutinho. Cincinnati closing off that side. Pereira trying to hop it forward, but didn't get enough pace on it. Powell yeehaws it ahead to halfway, and Araujo wins it back. We'll be saying that quite a bit this year, Miguel.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. His ball-winning ability, his aggressiveness, his defensive bite, and you know, it speaks volumes of the trust that Oscar Pareja has in him at a young age. He's only 20 years old. To play by himself, sitting in the hole right in front of the center backs, because the amount of coverage that he has to do is quite a bit.
Moutinho over the top for Torres, a little bit tight. And Nick Haglund just gets a piece of it. Orlando now starting to settle in a little bit.
Yeah, and Joao Moutinho one of the important pieces when it comes to playing out of the back for Orlando City. He has the most amount of touches in the last couple of matches. That's because Orlando City builds a lot through. That's a fact.
Carr taken down hard by Hagelin. That'll earn Orlando City a free kick. Carr at 6'4", almost 200 pounds. He's going to be a problem for a lot of center backs to deal with.
Yeah, that's the first good look for Jankara. His ability to play with his back to the goal has been very good so far, despite the limited minutes that he's had. And you know, he put some pressure on Hagelin here, who's not the paciest, he's not the fastest. He's a veteran. He's a clever player. But if you challenge him when it comes to speed, he's probably not going to have a good time. And Jankara does a great job there with his explosive power to try to elude him. He forces him to take him down and have a good set-piece opportunity.
Facundo Torres. Knocked straight up by Blackett. Bato closing in. Carr flicked on over the top of the bar by Can. But the whistle blows first. It's a foul on Orlando. It'll be a free kick for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Pato here. You can see a little shove there once the ball gets popped out away from Powell. And it's actually the shove right here from Pato against Moreno. And that's what the referee calls. It would have been offside anyway. But good set piece opportunity and allows you to build in momentum.
First real bite at the apple for Orlando tonight. Araujo draws the foul. He came in tonight, one off the league lead in fouls won, and draws his first against the big center forward for FC Cincinnati, Brandon Vazquez.
Yeah, you're going to see an elbow here from Vazquez to Araujo's face. It's unintentional, but still hurts if you're Araujo.
He does not fear contact. He was noted when he signed as a very physical player. He's lived up to that so far. Herrera taken down by Hagelin.
So this is something you're going to see very often, because the back line of FC Cincinnati is going to have to take players down often, because that is going to be the only way they're going to be able to stop their dynamism and their rotations.
First time we've seen Juan on the ball tonight. Big test for the young rookie Ian Murphy out of Duke. First round pick of FC Cincinnati. Combination through the middle, but Carr and Herrera not on the same page. Cincinnati looking to break. Araujo stepping to Kubo, or at least slows FC Cincinnati down.
This is what we talked about. Rossi is going to have to be patient, but making sure that you're well concentrated in those transitional moments where FC Cincinnati wins the ball, because that first thought from any player that wins the ball goes to that guy, Lucho Acosta. And if he's able to get on the ball, turn, and face you and put you under pressure, then those are going to be nervy moments for Orlando City supporters.
Johnson wins it and hoofs it down the field. Come into Kubo. Araujo with it. Black stays down. Vazquez across the face of goal. But it eludes Pedro Galesa's far post.
A good chance here from FC Cincinnati. I think it took them by surprise that Brandon Vazquez was popping away from an offside position to be able to turn and have a decent shot.
Juan looking to sprint by Murphy, and he just can't keep it in bounds. Juan taking a pop on the way out there. Nothing called.
But I like that from Juan. Oftentimes, he lacks in confidence to take players on with speed. He needs somebody to combine and then playing in behind, but I would argue that he has speed on his own to just touch the ball in front of him and then beat somebody in a race.
Over the top for Dominic Baggi. Manages to haul it down, and then the flag belatedly comes up.
Good positioning here by Orlando City's back line.
Dominic Baggi signed as a free agent off the Colorado Rapids this offseason by Cincinnati. Good veteran player, 38 MLS goals to his name. Antonio Carlos over the top to Juan. He's onside. Juan into the area. Juan in front. Carra taken down. No whistle, and it'll trickle out for a goal kick. Ercan Carra's first sniff. Too many orange jerseys to put him off the pace.
Yeah, we talked about that speed of Juan getting in behind, and he picks up the head. And this is an intentional pass to Urgent Cara. I would argue Urgent Cara leaves that ball, and Mauricio Pereira is coming right from behind that second wave of attack to slot that one in. But if you're a true number 9, you're not going to let any of those opportunities go. You're going to try to have it go, especially if you're Urgent Cara looking for his first goal as a Lion.
Janssen tripped up. No, they're going to call Robin for the foul. Brandon Vazquez draws it. Free kick, Cincinnati. Two of MLS's 3 Lion clubs, RSL being the other, taking each other on tonight. Gabby mentioned it earlier, FC Cincinnati yet to win against Orlando in their MLS existence. 2022 Orlando Pride season tickets are now on sale. Don't miss your chance to watch the best women's soccer players in the world for under $14 a match. Visit Orlando-Pride.com for more details. Pride opening up the 2022 Challenge Cup at home next weekend against Washington Spirit. Bouncing around the middle, it's won by Cincinnati. Ochoa Acosta gonna find a teammate. Junior Urso runs him down. Tyler Blackett, former Manchester United youth product. Moreno. Murphy looking for Baji. Things off Pereira. Cara coming in to help, but it finds Acosta. Options here for Kubo. He'll shoot. And into the concourse from Yuya Kubo. And seen some frustration from Vazquez and Baji as Kubo tried to blast that in from outside the box. Cincinnati a little bit more up for it than maybe we were thinking coming in, though. See that possession number? Yeah,
and they had the majority of the possession versus DC United. I think this formation that I would argue that Pat Noonan eventually is going to go to a 4-4-2 diamond like the Philadelphia Union have done, and he has really studied that formation and really mastered it. But at the moment, with the personnel that they have, this is the best that they can do, and that allows them numbers in the middle of the field, that allows them defensive solidity. And what I saw versus DC United, I think there's something that they can build upon.
One finds its way to Acosta, threads in Vazquez! Cincinnati takes the lead! The first goal of the season for FC Cincinnati, and it's Brandon Vazquez who finds the back of the net.
Well, we were just talking about it right before this. We might have actually even jinxed it. Those numbers in the middle of the field allow freedom and space to Lucho Acosta. And we said on the pregame show, this is their dangerous player. If he gets the ball and is able to turn, he's going to find a runner. And that run by Dominic Baji to distract Antonio Carlos, and then that space in between Joao Moutinho and Robin Janssen, it's an area that they have to continue to improve upon. And Brandon Vazquez, he makes a good little run, good first touch, and Pedro Gales is coming out, makes himself as big as possible, but it's a clinical finish from the forward for FC Cincinnati. It's a good start.
Orlando City punched in the mouth a little bit here to start things off. FC Cincinnati coming on the road and taking the early lead. Vazquez's 10th career MLS goal. They picked him up in their second season. Now his third year in Cincy. Just doesn't seem on the same page on the other end for Orlando City right now.
And that's what we said too. And I hate talking about the same thing, but you look at Pato, you look at Facundo Torres, you look at Urgent Cara. These are 3 players up top, and they haven't had a lot of time to work together.
Herrera, Torres with pace in front of Haglund. Haglund gets position. Moutinho. Herrera. Wide for Juan. And Juan crosses it to nowhere. It is picked off easily by Powell.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me because you got your best players on the ball, moving the ball around. Eventually you get it to Juan, and he wants to make a cross with the outside of his foot. Not his forte. But good to see Facundo on his left-hand side trying to get in behind, trying to beat those players with pace. he continues to do that, put some pressure on Hagelin and Alvis Powell on the right side.
Tons of time left in this game, and mind you, in 2019, the first time these two teams played, it was Cincinnati who scored first, and Orlando went on to win that game 5-1. Work to do here for the Lions. Pato nearly squeezed in Juan, but it's Blackett who cuts it off. Lions win it back. Araujo. Facundo Torres. Out to Moutinho. Cara slips in Facundo. Here's Torres! Nobody made the run. And it's a throw-in for Cincinnati.
What a lovely combination here. And good things are going to happen when Joao Moutinho gets involved, because he's got great creativity and great vision. What a lovely combination there from Ercan Cara. And I would argue, I would probably say that Facundo Torres here was stuck between two minds. He went with no conviction. He did not know if he was going to shoot. He did not know if he wanted to cross. He did not know which one was the best decision possible. And the result was a half-hearted effort. But great combination there, good willingness to get in behind. You know, he had just done it just a couple minutes ago rather. But Ercan Cara showing you that he's also a player that you can combine with. Give him the ball, make runs in behind him, and good things will happen.
The goal seems to have woken Orlando up here. They've been much more at it since the Cincinnati goal. Powell fouling Torres, and Cincinnati certainly now with a lead. Going to pick up a lot of fouls tonight.
Yeah, but the more urgency Orlando City has, the more careful they have to be in the back line. They have to be very, very calculated in the way they attack, because FC Cincinnati now has got Orlando City where they want it, and they're going to look for transition moments. They're comfortable right now. They got a solid back line that just now is starting to get trouble. Orlando City is going to have to be very careful the way they attack.
Urso does nicely to find Juan there. And Juan taking a little bit too long. Into Moutinho. Facundo Torres. Whips it in. Pato back post. Can with a great save. Paws it over the bar. What a ball from Facundo Torres, and Pato nearly found the back of the net.
That's a beautiful little ball, and take a look at Pato's movement. He goes back and then goes forward. That's how beautiful that ball bounced, because it allowed Pato half a second to propel himself and get on top of those two very tall defenders. It makes a good connection there, and Alec Khan, new goalkeeper of FC Cincinnati, makes a good save and bails FC Cincinnati.
Much better since the goal for Orlando. Let's see if they can cash in on this momentum. Pereira for the corner. And a foul before it comes in. Goal kick, FC Cincinnati. Pizza Hut is the official pizza of Orlando City, which means if City wins tonight's match, fans receive 50% off large regular menu price pizzas using the code LIONSWIN. An offer is only valid online at pizzahut.com. Araujo was the one who called for the infraction, having some words with Chris Penso, who is known for his active whistle. He tends to give more red cards and penalty kicks than the average referee, and has already been involved quite a bit tonight. Red card a little more than every 4 games for Chris Penso. Cincy back on the ball for the first time since their goal. Costa gives it away under pressure. Nice ball movement in tight space there for Orlando City. Here goes Antonio Carlos. The big Brazilian, they're giving him space and he's taking it. Slides it in for Juan. Too far out, and Cameron will hit it into the stands. Let's go down to Gabby on the pitch.
Yeah, guys, we're already seeing a glimpse of what Ercan Cara can do. He's not only a penalty box predator, but he certainly is an aerial threat. Keep an eye on him during set pieces. 10 of his 37 goals for Rapid Vienna were headers, meaning about 27% of his goal production comes in the air. City's new number 9 is an aerial threat that Orlando City will certainly want to exploit on these set pieces. Back up to you guys.
Caro, we've seen a couple of glimpses so far.
Yeah, and one of the things about Cara is, you know, he'll say that he's a classy number 9, but you can see his ability to combine.
Well, a ball from Antonio Carlos. Here is Cara. And he does haul it down. Plays it off for Juan. Urso, shot, and needs a save for Alec Khan. Urso scoring twice against Cincinnati last year, trying his luck. And that one does not trouble the new #1 for Cincinnati, signed as a free agent from Atlanta this offseason.
You saw, another dimension of Cara's game. He's able to control the ball, get outside of the box, and put some players in good situations. The more involved he's in the game, the more touches he gets on the ball. You start to feel like he's coming into his own here with Orlando City. He's a guy that scored a lot of goals in the Austrian Bundesliga, like Gabby was saying, and a lot of bangers outside the box, different types of goals, poachers, headers. It hasn't been the best preseason for him in terms of that process, but certainly a very talented individual.
Alice Powell bringing the ball into the attack for Cincinnati. Can't flick it in to Vazquez. The fall for Murphy, picked 14th overall from Duke. Get his first MLS start tonight. No Matarrita, no Ray Gaddis for Cincinnati, who are also down Brenner, Gustavo Vallecilla, John Nelson, all out. But a shorthanded team ahead here on the road early on at Orlando City. Lions starting to settle in though. Pato, Juan. Pato looking to create. Cincinnati closing down that ball pass. Eventually they lose control of it. Herrera steps up to win it back from Kubo. Pato lays it off. Little 1-2. Pato loses his footing. Comes back. Clips in. Cara! What a save by Can! Are you kidding me? Diving stop. Alec Can. Outrageous save to deny Ercan Cara's first MLS goal. And one of the passes of the season so far from Pato.
Unbelievable individual display here from Pato. Look at the way he maneuvers his hips to be able to find Cara on the blind side. He hasn't even seen him. No one can see what Pato is thinking here. Look at the way he finds him with his left foot. Beautiful ball. Ercan Cara with a great run. But Can up to the task, up to the challenge, coming up big time for FC Cincinnati.
Corners in. Antonio Carlos hurled down by Haglund, but not enough in it for Penso. Brazilian wants a penalty, but he won't get it.
Look at you got 8 players from FC Cincinnati inside the box. They know what they came here to do, and so far it's working for them. So Orlando City need to continue this pressure that they have right now. They got the momentum. This is the moment where they need to get that goal back within the next few minutes before FC Cincinnati can settle again, before Orlando City runs out of steam, and they're able to get reorganized.
Herrera slides it out to Urso. Juan. And you get by Murphy. He does. Juan into the area. Here's Torres. Knocked away by Powell. Coutinho coming back to keep it alive. Facundo Torres. Too many orange jerseys in the way. Janssen continues his run. But it's Coutinho crashing across the face. And somehow they hold Cara from scoring without a foul, and now Cara is down holding his left leg.
Well, you gotta feel for Orlando City because this pressure, it is incredible what they're doing right now. It is astonishing that they're not able to get a goal and get a reward because they are doing everything that it takes except that final little touch. What a little pass from Torres into Joao Moutinho, and you see Ercan Cara there. It seems like Blackett comes from behind him. That nice little threaded ball and a quality ball. And I think they're going to have to be looking at this one because from behind, I think there's something there.
It looks like the landing is where Cara got hurt, but he's up and jogging. He looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think it's a fair challenge here, 2 players. And you're right, it's the way his back leg was extended or hyperextended.
Audi Melbourne, Audi North Orlando, and Audi South Orlando are the official luxury automotive partners of Orlando City. Visit your Central Florida Audi dealer or AudiOffers.com for current lease and finance specials. All Orlando except where it counts. Cincinnati get their goal in the 13th minute. Lions have been dominant since, but have yet to find pay dirt. Cara comes flying in this close to taking that one off of Cameron. Since he will look to settle it in, Blackett just goes long though. Antonio Carlos wins it back for Orlando. Lions will build from the back. And as I say it, Antonio Carlos goes long. Urso taken down by Cameron. Coutinho, he's been so involved tonight. Herrera. Araujo. Urso to Juan. Here they come again. Juan early cross. Maybe not the best idea as Cameron gets it clear. Back to Urso for Orlando. Urso to the dribble. And he gets taken down in a set play coming up for Orlando City.
You get the sense that there's a goal for Orlando City here in the next few minutes, but I've also seen the movie where you get that sense and the opposite happens in a transition moment. But it's all Orlando City right now. Junior Urso doing a great job of protecting the ball. That's one of his specialties, one of the players that gets fouled the most after a failed attempt to do a back heel to the space for Juan. But another set piece opportunity here where FC Cincinnati has done a tremendous job at defending them. They got good height, they got good players in the air. Let's see if Orlando City can capitalize here.
Herrera in, Urso, another save for Can. Diving back to knock it over the crossbar. Can standing on his head for FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, one of the things that FC Cincinnati wanted to improve was the goalkeeper situation, and they got Can, 31 years old, but already some good experience, especially with Atlanta. He was under the shadows of Brad Guzan for a long time, and FC Cincinnati gives him the #1, and so far here tonight, he's got a terrific performance, keeping a clean sheet.
Herrera in again. This time knocked away by Blackett for Cincinnati. Canna just 32 starts in 9 MLS seasons, more than half of them coming in 2017 for Atlanta, before being signed to be the starter for Cincinnati, waiting a decade for his chance. He was not good in the first 2 games, it must be said, but putting together a stellar performance tonight.
Well, you can only be as good as your back line and your team, really. And you know, let's just be honest, the goalkeepers for FC Cincinnati in the past 4 seasons have really been peppered, and you know, there's only so much that a goalkeeper can do. And Can, he's been a #2 in MLS for a long time for a big club like Atlanta United, because they want to have a trustworthy goalkeeper, and that is sometimes a good and a bad thing if you're in a player in that situation. But if you're him, you're thinking, this is my time to start to build some equity with this FC Cincinnati franchise, that they're looking to revert some of the mistakes in terms of contractual negotiations that they've had in the past 3 years.
Signed a 2-year deal. They still have Kenneth Vermeer under contract for this year as their backup. Well, Can is the undisputed starter. That's what they brought him in to be, and proving why his advanced numbers, shot stopping, were excellent over the last few years for Atlanta, coming in as a reserve. Earning in this opportunity. Costa picks off Cesar Araujo. Costa had the assist earlier, now out to Baji. Chance on the break for Cincinnati. Baji will shoot, it's blocked by Janssen. Acosta. Alvis Powell cuts it back across, that's by everybody. And Juan will say thank you very much and start heading the other way.
Those things that we spoke about, right? When you have the possession and you have a lot of numbers forward, you're at the mercy of a bad pass, and you're in a terrible situation. That was Cesar Araujo giving the ball away for the 2nd time in this match, and to the wrong guy. If there's anybody you don't want to give the ball to, Lucho Acosta for FC Cincinnati.
Antonio Carlos looking long for Torres.
Oops.
Powell, oh, careful. He does hang on to it. Ends up being a very good touch in the end.
Never touch it. Something never touched it.
Well, Chris Spencer says he did. The AR is not taking issue with it. It'll be a Cincinnati throw. If you're watching the match on Fox 35 Plus, you can get around-the-clock news and video, match updates in real time, and much more if you download the Lion Nation app presented by Explorer Resorts. You can also use the app to download, live stream all of Orlando City's locally broadcast matches on your favorite devices. Download the Lion Nation app presented by Explorer Resorts today. Kubo for Cincinnati. Baji. Close on Acosta quickly. Instead, it's Kubo, who is in a DP spot at the moment, along with Acosta and Brenner, who is unavailable tonight. It's Baji. Acosta. Kubo. developing here for Cincinnati. It's wide to the rookie Ian Murphy. Kubo ball in. Janssen gets a piece of it. It's trickling out from the corner.
A good build-up here for FC Cincinnati. They got Yuya Kubo and Lucha Costa. They're doing a fine job of combining. Yuyu has really complemented the young Argentinian Acosta really well, who was able to lay it off to him, and then he got in the box to go challenge Robin Janssen, who's probably 1.5 feet taller. But it was a very nice ball that now has a corner kick for FC Cincinnati.
Costa to deliver. Hits it well short. Torres looking to get out on the break. He is down. And that is why Antonio Carlos never found him.
Yeah, he took a big hit there.
Enzo stops the game to have a word with Baji.
Janssen.
Oh, yeah, it's Janssen he's talking to. You're right. Oh, well, he does. We'll let you know it takes a beer served in 192 countries to truly appreciate the global game. Heineken, the official beer of Orlando City. Enjoy responsibly. Cincinnati weathering the storm after they got their early goal. Now Orlando on the front foot again. Urso swings it to Torres. Too much pace. But a heavy touch by Baji, and it's run down by Araujo. Moutinho. Urso. Juan. Cuts it inside. Here's Pato. Wide for Pereira. Head up. Torres, header into the mixer. Knocked away by Cincy, and then a foul on Moutinho, and the crowd starting to get into it with Chris Penso here. Let's give you a quick word from Ford.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the Ford Escape and Explorer for everyone. Built with Bliss to detect vehicles in your blind spot, and with lane keeping system. They're built for America.
Orlando City on the short end at the moment. Brandon Vazquez with the goal in the 13th minute for Cincinnati. Orlando then had a really 12-minute spell where they were just putting Cincinnati under constant pressure, but they could not come up with a goal. A couple of brilliant saves from Alec Can. And now Cincinnati, Miguel, seems to have settled in a little bit, would you say?
Yeah, that's what we said. They missed a small window there when they have the momentum, the energy. Alec Can really took the air out of Orlando City's attack there between the 15th and the 30th minute. But that doesn't mean that Orlando City cannot catch a breath and continue to go. And the same thing goes for FC Cincinnati, who has created a couple half chances in that same amount of time.
Antonio Carlos leading the break. Here goes Juan, and it's good anticipation there by Murphy. A little telegraph there from Orlando. Oh, Juan tucking around Murphy, and he gets on the ball. One-time cross knocked away by Blackett. And Juan commits frustration foul there.
As much as Orlando City is creating and getting the final third, you're playing right into FC Cincinnati's hands, because with this formation that they put out there, you got three really tall players, three center backs that are protecting that back line. They're okay giving you the flanks. They're okay allowing you to cross the ball, because they got those three players, and you got Moreno and Yuya Kubo even coming inside and crashing the box to make sure they got plenty of numbers, so when that cross comes in, they're in a very good defensive position. Orlando City is going to have to be creative and try to play through the flanks on the ground. Quick little movements, as we've seen them trouble the back line of FC Cincinnati. The more crosses you put in there, the more comfortable FC Cincinnati is going to be.
Every member of that FC Cincinnati back five is 6 foot or taller. They don't have any small fullbacks or anything like that. It's not on the field tonight. Torres. Moutinho still learning each other. Chicago Fire, their first goal of the season. Taking the lead in D.C. Stanislav Ivanov with the goal for Chicago. So Philly had the lead early in San Jose, home against San Jose as well. It was Corey Burke we got on the board for the Union. Johnson, strong header. Cara knocks it back to Pereira. Pato. Oh, that's beautiful. Cara, wide for Juan again. Cincinnati drops back. Pereira. Juan gets behind Murphy. There's another cross. And again, Cincinnati with enough bodies to knock it away from the area. Araujo wrestled down. And they say play on. It's all right, though. Antonio Carlos wins it back for Orlando City. Torres, central. Pato. Antonio Carlos was still up high, but was forced away. Deep-lying playmaker Antonio Carlos here.
Well, they're giving you all the space because they're really dropping deep this back line of FC Cincinnati. So Antonio Carlos is taking that space that they're giving him.
Coutinho. Urso. Araujo. Pereira somehow stays on the ball. Dinks it in for Cara. Torres. It's cut away by Hagley. Howland got a piece of it. Now Pato on this left-hand side. Into Urso. Junior draws the foul, and a very nice set piece on the way. And Vazquez will get booked. First yellow card of the night.
But some beautiful combination from Orlando City, but you still have to find that threatening ball. That ball with the poison, with the magic juice that's going to really trouble the backside of FC Cincinnati. They're doing a tremendous job of probing and moving the ball around, being patient, looking for that ball, but they still haven't found it. They still have plenty of time in this match, but there's a lot of numbers that Orlando City is committing forward to try to get that equalizer.
Pereira and Torres around here, a little far out to shoot, you think?
I think it's a little far out to shoot, but you know, who am I to doubt the abilities of Facundo Torres of Mauricio Pereira? But that's enough distance where Alec Khan can see the ball if it goes open over the wall. It goes from farther away.
Cara, Pato, Antonio Carlos at the top of the 18.
I also do see Joao Moutinho with plenty of space on the left-hand side. I wonder if that may be something that they're cooking.
Pereira does shoot and misses the target.
He had a nice dip. You can see it takes a wicked little dip there. But as I said, it's a little bit too far, and you could even see Alec Khan running across the goal. He would have got there even if that ball was going to the open Andy.
And a foul here on Orlando. Major League Soccer is supporting UNICEF's humanitarian relief efforts and is encouraging fans to stand with and support the 7.5 million children and their families impacted by the crisis in Ukraine. Donate or learn more at unicefusa.org/MLS. Haglund's ball over the top. Back to Pedro Galese in his 50th start tonight. Will not keep that record-setting clean sheet. Brandon Vazquez got in to score the game's only goal in the 13th minute. Orlando City has had the grand majority of the chances in possession since. Still tons of time left, but yet to put one past Alec Khan. 4 shots on target already for the Lions, all saved by the Cincinnati goalkeeper. Johnson, straight through for Torres, just barely overshot him. Scan the QR code coming up on your screen now for a chance to win the 2022 Fan Flyaway with Orlando City to Austin, Texas on May 22nd. It's Dominic Baggi for Cincinnati winning this one down. Fan Flyaway brought to you by Exploria Resorts. Got a foul here on Orlando City and another free kick coming up for Cincinnati. What kind of adjustment do you think Oscar Pareja can make here with this somewhat surprising scoreline so far?
I think they're doing the right thing and how they are arriving to the final third. I just think they need, I'll leave you here with the ball.
LSA ends up with it.
They just need a little bit more creativity when they get the ball to the flanks. Don't just put a lofted ball in there, because that is the bread and butter of the three center backs for FC Cincinnati. It's going to be difficult to beat them. Still attack the flanks because you have numbers up in the flanks, but maybe the ball in the box needs to be a little bit different. Maybe on the ground, a grass cutter, a cutback to maybe a player that's making a second run and can come in and maybe take a shot.
We know these players have the quality. Is it just a matter of getting used to each other? It's a brand new front three tonight, essentially.
Absolutely. It's all about chemistry and understanding each other's movements. You can see the little combinations. They are beautiful. It's champagne soccer, as they like to call it. But obviously, it's not celebratory champagne until you put the ball in the back of the net.
Herrera trapped in the corner here. He will earn the throw. Cameron following him all the way out there. Herrera in his first year as the captain for Orlando City, taking the armband from the departed Luis Nani. A well-respected and loved teammate in his 4th overall season with Orlando City. There's Pato on the flank against Powell. Araujo. Moutinho in a decent spot here. Moutinho, again, just curling it in. It comes out for Torres. Pops it up. Late runner. So goal! Goal taken away last week. He gets the equalizer tonight. Junior Urso ties us up at 1.
But just like we just talked about, it is the initial cross that is easy to deal with for FC Cincinnati, but you got to give Facundo Torres a ton of credit because he's lively to go get that rebound, and then he plays that little lofted ball in behind for the second wave of attack, and that's where the all-terrain bear is able to crash and get his first goal of the season with a brilliant header finish. Here's the initial first try. It's not there, but then you get to the end line, and then a cutback, and then a beautiful finish for Junior Urso. Fantastic ball. Facundo Torres gets his first assist as an Orlando City Lion, and Junior Urso gets his first goal of the 2022 season, hopefully one of many, which is what he talked about in our pregame show.
Exactly what they thought was going to happen last week. It was Torres who would have had the assist. But Facundo Torres does pick it up here, and this goal is not being chalked off. 1-1 game. You had to think the way this was playing out that Orlando was going to get one before halftime, and they do. Cincinnati looking to strike back. Powell and Moutinho going at it. And Joao Moutinho wins the battle. Herrera to Ercan Kara. He was robbed of the goal on an incredible reaction save by Cam. Herrera to Pato. It's headed away by Blackett.
It was just a matter of time for Orlando City to get that equalizer. They just needed to find a little bit more creativity, and it took probably, not the cleanest cross from Joao Moutinho, but what that did is that unsettled the defense for FC Cincinnati. Now you had one of your best header on the ground after that initial rebound, and then you saw the space in behind that Junior Urso was able to crash. That's his specialty, right? He came from Corinthians, scoring 7 goals in a season. He scored 11 goals when he was playing in China. That was one of the big things that when you bring a player like that is able to do. And his productivity has not been where he feels it should have been in terms of the amount of opportunities that he had. But in the 3rd game of the season, he gets his first one.
Janssen just gliding up the pitch. Robin Janssen looking for Kara. It's Ercan Kara back to Janssen, and Hagelin saves the day for Cincinnati. We talked about it on the pregame show, Miguel. When you give Robin Janssen a chance, he's going to come after you.
Well, it's the defensive solidity that makes him a special player on this team, and I would argue one of the best defenders in the league. But his attacking mind, his offensive skills that we showed on the pregame show with that jet blue telestration is what I think sets him apart and gives him an edge. He sees space, and he's able to take that space and engage that space, and then a great left foot to go with it. He's a good attacking threat, believe it or not, for Orlando City.
3 goals last year for Janssen. All in the second half of the season. Torres against Powell, and a little ambitious there from Facundo. Now Yuya Kubo up the line looking for Baji. Antonio Carlos out there and denies it. The imperious Brazilian off to a great start to the season. Was man of the match last week in Chicago. Now Juan. Crowd really getting into it now on a chilly night. Pato through to Juan, and it's going to deflect off Juan. We got 1 minute added on here at the end of the first half. The vibe was very tense for that half hour where Cincinnati had the lead. Starting to feel that Exploria Stadium classical vibe coming back into the picture.
I think you are seeing immediate growth between Cara, Pato, in that area right outside the box. They're starting to get the runs right, the combinations right. See, right there, Cara's going for the ball, Pato's making that run underneath. I think the more minutes those two get to play together, the more of a threat they're going to be.
It's an intriguing thought, the two of them together. They played there a lot together in preseason before Cara got hurt. And their first chance to start together tonight. Pato looking to create one more chance. They don't call the foul on Haglund, and then it's halftime. Now Cincinnati strikes first. Brandon Vazquez in the 13th minute. Plan smash and grab initiated, but Orlando City, after about a half hour of knocking, break through the door with Junior Urso's first goal and Facundo Torres' first assist as a Lion. We'll be back with halftime coverage after this. 1-1 game at the break here at Exploria Stadium.